So, Factory Town 1.86 was released recently, and it brings with it some fantastic improvements. Things like the train has been completely updated to have a new wonderful texture. It just makes the game look so much fresher and crisper. I love it. Roads and footpaths no longer have the weird lattice texture when you place them next to each other. They now just pave the world over, so you can concrete the world if you want to. More decorative blocks have been added. You can build walls, platforms, stairs, scaffolding, all using the mana type crystals, which is very nice. You can get all wonderfully colourful with it. There have been some under the hood changes as well. Grain was an issue for custom maps that has been fixed, and map load times have been improved, which I'm quite happy with. But the biggest change was towns and their new grouping system, which is a little strange, so let's see whether I can explain this. So I'm here in a creative world where I have just set up a very simple farm harvesting grain and selling it to a single house. Basically the sort of way you would set up an early game way of creating early money. From this you would go to upgrading to a food market. That's the standard way of doing things. And the food market has a range. You can see it has a range around it, and you'll also notice now the base has a range as well. And this comes into an interesting way of doing things, because previously if you put down a food market and let's move this house over, and you put down some houses around it, you connect them up with paths, nice and easy, like so, and they're all connected. They're all connected to the food market. That's absolutely fine. If you go outside of the range of the food market, and let's say put a house over here, you can see this house is not connected to this food market. See, he doesn't highlight. All these ones get a highlight around them. He doesn't connect. So the only way you would have to do that is either move the house closer or build another food market further out and deliver to the food market. That'd be fine. Let's get on. I'll do delivering to the market. Makes life easier. However, now there is a change where the base can double up as a central point for your towns, is the best way I can sort of describe it. If we connect the base to our area, like so, to our food market, you'll see the base is also highlighted. It's very, very happy with getting us there. And it is connected to the food market, then that's fine. If we put the house over this side, and we'll build another food market over here. We'll put one over there for it. Oh, there we go. And connect that up with the road. They always have to be connected with the road. So this is a town. We have one food market connected to that house there. See, it says above it, it says one house. And this one over here says I have 4 houses. Now this market cannot reach this house because it's ring. This one ring here is not far enough. And this market can't reach any of these houses because this ring isn't far enough. But if we connect it by road to the base, then you'll see this market says it has 5 houses, and this market says it has 5 houses, even though they're not connected. Because they are connected to the base and they are within a certain range of the base, they become a town unit, is the best way to describe it. Connecting everything via path to the base means it all becomes one giant thing. So when stuff is sold to this market here, let's replace our guy with a wagon, shall we? Let's get him. Let's get a wagon going here, and that'll sell more food to everyone here. But you will notice that this house will gain. See, he sold it. He's got happiness, so he got given food from this market. Because this market is in range of the base, its circle encompasses the base, and this one encompasses the base as well. They all share the inventory, so it allows you to expand out much further than you once did. The base's range also can be upgraded when it upgrades. So you see here right now it's this size here. If we upgrade the base to level 2, it gets larger, and level 3 it's larger again and again. And with that you can connect up something. So you could put let's say you're upgraded to level 5. Now you could put the the food market down here, it doesn't actually connect to the base. Its range is not enough. This is the ring for the range. It's not enough for the base, but because the base is enlarged, it can connect to it. So if we were to do that and then get a house down here, then they should all be connected to 6 houses, because again, the base encompasses all of those, or they encompass the base. It works either way, and it becomes one house. So this house now becomes part of the town. You see, when I mouse over this house, see all the 3 food markets, these 3 food markets, and the base. They highlight when I cover over the house there. So that means it's all connected. Essentially, if you connect up all your buildings via paths, it doesn't have to be footpaths, it can be roads as well. They do exactly the same job. Oh, there you go. If you connect them up via roads or footpaths, then they will become a unit, providing the circles overlap with each other. So see here, if I click this, it highlights the base because it's within range of it, or whenever you click any market building. Let me show you the other market buildings. Let's go with the apothecary. We'll put him down over here. So he is not in range of the base, and I do this and then connect up with a road. Do the 2. Boom, there you go. He's got 1. He's not connected to the base. Now I think he's too far out of range for this to work. So if I connect him up there, there we go. Yep, he's still just got 1 because that's his range. That's all he can do there. Let's upgrade the base a little bit further and see what range we can get up to. 9, 10. And 10 isn't quite enough. So there we go. The base has been upgraded, but we're not quite inside there. If I move this apothecary inside the base range and connect it to a road, you will see he's now connected to 7 people. Even though he's right out here, anything that you sell to that apothecary can be sold to these houses up here. So essentially, you want to build your town around your base. Your base wants to be the central point, and you build your town around it, or close to it. Because this has a range as well, and this house is actually outside the base's influence, but it is connected to a market of some description. I'm saying market, a distribution building, because it is connected to a distribution building. Then it counts. The base counts, so these food markets can sell to this house here, even though it's out of range. If I move this to the other side of that there, see, he's still connected, because you see here, all of these are connected to the base. This is connected, so they all go through the beacon that is the base. And that's my explanation of it. It's probably a lot more complicated than that, as to what you can do. I've just played with it briefly. I've not actually tested the whole limits of it, but I have noticed that essentially, if you put a building on the outside of the base's range, whatever size it is, then that range is extended to the base. So we could buy these 2 down here. Let's buy these 2 down here, and I will show you what I mean by range. Let's build our road out, and you can see here, if we move the house right down to here, he's still in range. He is still in range of all of this. So that one house is still being supplied by that food market all the way up there, all the way over there. So you can now build huge, huge towns. The only thing that I don't understand, why you can't build a second base somewhere and have a second town. Maybe that's coming, who knows? But hopefully this explanation makes life a little bit easier for you. It's fairly straightforward to understand. As I said, there's probably more to it that I'm not aware of, but well, when I find out, I will let you know. So thanks very much, and as always, have fun.